What's going on, CK Nation? It's your boy, the Boss Man CK, and on today's episode of the CK Motorsports Full Throttle, we have a lot of racing action to cover, from Cup Series, O'Reilly, ARCA, all returning to Chicagoland this past weekend since 2019. Also, the IndyCar hit the road course as we went to Road America, and we topped out the weekend as well with Monster Jam action as Monster Jam returned for World Finals in Salt Lake. So, we're all gas, no brakes, full throttle for Kyle, and let's get to it. Alright, so from the Friday night lights to a Saturday bonfire, my playlist is country, my tank's never on fire. So crank up the volume, let the good times begin. Got a cooler in the back full of ice and cheap gin. They see these big tires and they wanna jump in. Forget that little hybrid, that's a race you can't win. Yeah, they love the way we roll, kicking up dust on the back road. So again, like I said, we had some big racing moments this weekend as the Cup Series returned to Chicagoland for the first time since 2019. So there has been no racing there, and that track's been dormant for 7 years. So the question was, how was the next gen car going to handle? How was it going to handle on the old weathered in paved track with patches that were having to be fixed on it? Stuff like that. How was the O'Reilly and the ARCA car going to do as well? Well, Friday night we got our answer as Connor Mozat for Pinnacle Racing Group went to victory lane. He had a pretty stellar performance and was able to get it done, and congrats to him on that as he moves on, as he continues to build experience in the ARCA Series and the Cars Tour and trucks. So congrats to Connor Mozat. Then on Saturday, after the rain played a factor for a little bit, we had Brandon Jones taking the 20, Joe Gibbs number 20, to victory lane. Congrats to him as he got another W this weekend and continues his hopes as well as he gives himself some more cushion and padding to lock up into the playoff or chase. Then on Sunday, the question that everybody was wondering, what was going to happen? How would the next gen cars fare? Well, in the end, it was Chase Briscoe getting that that number 19 Bass Pro Shop car to victory lane and scoring his first victory of the season. He had a solid run. Also, other cars had solid runs, but our two championship contenders, Denny Hamlin and Tyler Reddick, had problems of their own. But Denny was still able to build the cushion a little bit on Tyler Reddick and have a 44-point lead. So we'll see what happens from here. How far does Denny Hamlin get from here on out? And does he lock in that regular season first place spot and able to carry it over and win the championship that he's been so longing to get? We'll see what happens. Then we head over to the road course at Mid-Ohio. Yes, Mid-Ohio. One of the toughest road courses on the circuit. It pretty much asks for skill and everything in that. And we had the IndyCar there. And Mateo Ward proved why he can do what he can do on a road course, and how his high quality performance on the circuit and his focus helped him put together probably one of his strongest wins of the season by getting the win and going to victory lane at Mid-Ohio. And IndyCar remains one of the, and that makes IndyCar still continue to be one of the most competitive series in all of motorsports today, because the margins are so small, and on any given weekend anybody can win. But it was Pateo Ward's weekend this weekend to get the win. So congrats to him. And Alex Palou, I still feel, is the favorite to win that championship with about 9 races to go. So we'll see what happens as IndyCar goes to Nashville Super Speedway next week. And then the Cup Series heads to Echo Park Speedway in Atlanta. So we'll see. And then the past weekend was Monster Jam World Finals. Yes, Monster Jam World Finals. These drivers in the arena tours and stadium tours built up for this moment to be crowned a world champion.
world champion. So, we started the action on Thursday night with the last chance qualifiers, which meant, like, okay, we had a Friday racing bracket and a Saturday racing bracket. But Saturday racing bracket had 13 drivers with one spot open. And that last chance qualifier bracket on Thursday was for the people that did not get the automatic buy or invite into the main features. They had to race their way in. And you had some talented drivers out there. So, in the end, though, it was, even though I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I didn't really see him winning last chance qualifiers. I thought it would be like Tony Oaks and JCB Digatron Stars and Stripes or somebody like that. But in the end, it was Triton Robbins of Crazy Train taking the LCQ and moving on to the main feature bracket on Saturday. Then we head over to crown a 2 World Skills champion. And like I said, if you don't understand what they do in 2-wheel skills, or you've heard the sayings on some things, I'll show you a little example with our friend Tech Det Wreck Det. So if you hear them ever say, hey, here's a poppy, this is what they're doing. They have the truck up like this. This is a poppy. If you hear them saying it's a wheelie, obviously everybody should know that's a wheelie. If they move the truck backwards while they're like this, that's considered a moonwalk. And if you ever hear the bicycle term of, oh man, it's a bicycle, usually the bicycle is they will put it on the 2 side wheels and spin around the best they can, and then it'd be even perfect if they bounce it upright. And if you see them go in the air during 2 wheels, that's what they consider a sky wheelie. So I had to learn a lot of this as well, because I just like 2 wheels. I'm more of a freestyle racing guy, but 2 wheels is cool. And I had to learn in a way how to judge it through my wife. She had to teach me like what to look for. So, but I will say this. I told her I was going to say something about it on here, and she said, oh God, don't do it, but oh well, sorry, I'm going to give my opinion. But I do believe, no disrespect to Brandon Shaluka and Zombie, but I believe MJ Solorio and El Toro Loco Yellow got robbed. Okay? He got robbed. You can't, like, that's why I need you Monster Jam fans and CK Nation out there to please judge better. When you go on the judging app, please judge better. Because to me, MJ Solorio should have got beat Brandon Shaluka. Like I said, no disrespect to him. What he did was pretty cool. He was trying to do a spinneroonie, and it looked like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, the way he had his truck bouncing with the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man dancing. I thought it was pretty cool, and he landed some combos. But to me, I think what is impressive is the fact that you can throw a steering wheel out the window, up on a poppy, and make that thing do the moonwalk with no problem, with no steering wheel, and you can bounce into a combo and make the bull blow smoke out nose. So I'm sorry, but I think MJ Solorio should be our 2-wheel skill world champion right now. And I feel like he got robbed. So props to you, MJ. And congrats also to you, Brandon. But like I said, I think the man got robbed. So, CK Nation, if you're a Brandon Shaluka fan out there, I'm sorry. But yes, so. And then also, we had high jump the end of the night with none other than the wild side man himself, Zach Garner, taking that championship home and high jump and becoming the world champion. Then on Saturday night, we had the first round of freestyle not on Saturday night, but Friday night. We had the first round of freestyle. Whoever had the highest score at the end of the night, that score would hold on to Saturday night when the Saturday group got to go. And then we were crowned a world champion in freestyle. But on Friday night in the JCB Digatron or JCB Racing bracket, we had Tristan England taking home that bracket and moving on to the World Championship race on Saturday night by winning Friday night's bracket. So congrats to him. Next, on Saturday night, we had the Saturday night bracket. And I want to give a shout out right quick to one man. He got third place in bronze and got on the podium. But it was pretty impressive to me that he won LCQ and went all the way and almost made it to the world title race. I'm giving a shout out to Triton Robbins and Crazy Train. You legit proved why you deserve to be there. You beat some guys that I've seen win JCB racing all season in the series and was like, I don't think he can do it. And I actually was rooting for you toward the end because, man, dude, you were impressive in that truck. So congratulations to you on getting up that far and making it to the podium to get bronze. But winning the Saturday night bracket ended up being Tyler Miniga of Gravedigger from the Stadium Tours West, as he would take on Stadium Tour East Series champion and Friday night bracket winner Tristan England and JCB Digatron for the world title in JCB racing. So it was a great race, really close battle. I was rooting for JCB Digatron, Tristan England. I do like that dude. I think he is a really good monster truck driver. But in the end, it was Tyler Miniga taking home the world title in a truck that we all love with Gravedigger and winning the JCB World Championship in racing. And nobody can take that away from him, as he is now the world champion until next World Finals. So congrats to you, Tyler Miniga, on getting that win. Also, another issue I noticed, but I think they slowly were fixing it, even though they kept claiming that it was elevation issues in Salt Lake, was a lot of the trucks were having battery issues. So, but I believe they were able to get that handled and still were able to put on a great show. So, in the end, in the main feature, we had, could Dalton Weiner's shell shot score from freestyle hold up to whoever ran on the freestyle for the world title on Saturday night? And we had a Saturday night load of good drivers. Not saying we didn't have them on Friday as well, because Mayhem, I thought he was a legit top contender. Chris Kohler and Mayhem, I thought he was legit top for it. But Dalton Weiner made it through Friday night. But then on Saturday's lineup, you had Ryan Anderson, Weston Anderson. No, Weston was on Friday night. I'm sorry. But you had Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger. You had Fernando Martinez in El Toro Stars and Stripes. You had a really good set field. You had Cynthia Gontier and Lucas Stabilizer, Tristan England and JCB Digatron, Barnaby, Zowie, and Zombie. Like, it was set. But in the end, with him nailing what he called it, I think it was called the coot. It was a front flip, but I think it's called a Kumo jump, Kumo flip or something. Tristan England was able to nail 2 back flips plus that and take home and get redemption on his loss earlier in the night in the JCB Digatron, and get redemption from losing the racing bracket, and was claimed world champion of freestyle and was your 2026 world champion of freestyle. So congrats to Tristan England and JCB Digatron on that. I will say this, and again, I'm pretty sure the CK Nation agrees with me out there. Monster Jam and Failed Entertainment probably won't. But I will say this. No disrespect, Tristan England. I'm glad and I'm really excited that he won. But we all know that the true champion, the one that says, "Where's my dogs at?" didn't get a chance because of some technicality or some safety issue they thought was a safety issue. Didn't get a chance to defend his world title. And we all know who that is. So much love to the champ that never got to defend his championship, Blake Granger. Much love to you, my friend. we were hoping that Monster Jam might have would have changed your mind and you could have got in there and defended that world title. But things happened and it didn't work out, so you weren't able to show up. So, alrighty. So, with that being said, like I said, we had a big, huge weekend across the motorsports world as Chicagoland Speedway was back on the calendar for the first time in 2019. We had big wins in the ARCA, and the O'Reilly, and the Cup Series. Mateo Ward also added another IndyCar victory by being impressive at Mid-Ohio. And we had an unforgettable Monster Jam World Finals in Salt Lake City like we do every year, as we handed out across 3 and crowned new world champions. If Chicagoland's return proved anything, it is that this track still belongs in the conversation. The fans showed up, the racing delivered, and all 3 stock car series gave us reasons to keep talking about the Speedway long after the weekend ended. And across the rest of the motorsports landscape, the action never slowed down. So, with that being said, again, I'd like to thank you guys for constantly following, subscribing, viewing, watching, enjoying the motorsports world with me. Like I said, I do this for y'all. I just don't do this for me. I do this for everybody as we celebrate motorsports world. Keep commenting, keep liking, keep the nation growing, man. And let's keep it rolling like we always do. And remember, I'm the boss man, CK. We're all gas, no brakes. We're full throttle for Kyle. This has been another episode of CK Motorsports Full Throttle, and I will see y'all on the next one.